There's no word for retirement when it comes to certain figures in music. You cannot simply step away, because the weight of a name like Tupac Shakur carries significance far beyond fame, and the music he created and influenced demands not casual recognition but careful attention. A resonance that echoes through decades and refuses to be silenced, and for nearly 30 years, the world has been told that his story ended in September 1996 in Las Vegas. Yet some of the most daring claims suggest something far stranger, far more calculated, that he did not die but strategically vanished, protected by the Cuban government, gathering evidence, intelligence, and connections while the music industry, unaware of what had truly occurred, continued its rise and empire building around the absence of a figure whose presence was never meant to be removed. As social media today struggles under hashtags like #DiddyExposed and #JayZSecrets, trending worldwide, overwhelming feeds with speculation and rumor, but these are not empty claims. They come from insiders, veterans who once operated in the very spaces where power was negotiated, whispering about Cuban safe houses, protection strategies, and decades of meticulously compiled evidence capable of shattering two music empires, and the central claim is explosive in its simplicity. Tupac Shakur didn't die in 1996, he disappeared, protected, untouchable, with resources and connections that turned him from victim into a ghost, a figure whose strategic absence allowed him to document betrayals, record secret conversations, and preserve evidence of manipulation, exploitation, and violence against him and others, with the timeline adding to the intrigue, because the official story of the Las Vegas shooting contradicts itself. With only hospital staff and his mother witnessing him afterward, coroner reports misaligned with known facts, funeral workers vanishing, suspicious Caribbean flights, possible body doubles, and covert transport. Making the logistics feasible, and even those closest to Tupac, like Suge Knight, have never fully accepted the narrative, recalling him lucid and joking on the night of the shooting, far from a dying man, stating famously, "With Pac, you never know." A phrase that has haunted hip-hop culture for decades, while mainstream media, accidentally or otherwise, contributed to speculation, slipping comments about sightings, uncanny lookalikes, and improbable coincidences that fans argue cannot be random, every inconsistency layering evidence of a truth deliberately hidden. And then there is the alleged manuscript, reportedly locked in Cuban vaults, detailing financial schemes, systemic exploitation of artists, coordinated acts of violence, and cover-ups extending far beyond the music world, alongside secret audio recordings capturing discussions where key figures allegedly plotted contract manipulation, violent retaliation, and intimidation, and if authentic, these recordings are not casual freestyles but actual business meetings, documenting strategies to secure power, suppress competition, and intimidate opponents, authenticated through modern voice recognition, impossible to forge due to distinctive voices and speech patterns across multiple recordings. While both Diddy and Jay-Z face unprecedented legal vulnerability, Diddy with racketeering charges and witness tampering allegations, Jay-Z with civil lawsuits and reputation crises. And if Tupac's recordings surfaced, they would connect isolated incidents into a decades-long criminal enterprise, creating the missing links prosecutors need, and with federal resources, advanced analytical tools, and international cooperation, the evidence would be professionally organized, legally admissible, and strategically devastating, while culturally, the impact could be equally profound as today's artists fight for independence, ownership, and transparency, with Tupac emerging as a revolutionary figure uniting resistance against systemic exploitation, forcing major labels, streaming platforms, and the entire industry infrastructure to face scrutiny. In a climate ripe for upheaval, accelerated by social media, demanding accountability from untouchable figures, with Suge Knight's testimonies suggesting coordination the night of the shooting, including the use of military-grade radios and unusual behavior indicating prior knowledge, court documents alleging Diddy offered substantial sums for hits connected to Tupac and Suge Knight, Jay-Z's debut album coinciding suspiciously with Tupac's disappearance, and the possibility that Cuban intelligence helped Tupac compile comprehensive evidence, creating a dossier capable of transforming individual legal cases into sweeping RICO investigations, with the potential to expose executives, lawyers, programmers, journalists, and complicit artists, revealing the long-standing secret that success in the music industry often required alignment with criminal elements, creating a cultural and legal turning point, whether Tupac returns physically or through evidence alone, confronting hip-hop's power structure and challenging untouchable figures with accountability, with the story transcending music to become a narrative of strategy, survival, intelligence, and confrontation with corruption, exposing decades of manipulation, betrayal, and empire building, and leaving only one ultimate question: is Tupac Shakur alive, or alive in the evidence he preserved, in the truth he meticulously documented, and in the reckoning he may have set in motion, as the narrative of preparation, patience, and strategic vision suggests that Tupac, in life or legacy, remains the ultimate force in the shadows, an enigma whose story is far from over, a reckoning whose time may finally have come.